Welcome to the Board Game Spotlight podcast. Get ready for an entire hour of gaming goodness, brought to you by our incredible sponsors: IV Studios, Fireside Games, Van Ryder Games, Renegade Game Studios, Mythic Games, This Little Bean of Mine, Game Toppers LLC, Kick Track, Arcane Wonders, AEG, Draw Lab Entertainment, and of course, our amazing Patreon supporters. This podcast would not be possible without you. And now, here are your hosts, Derek and Lizzy Funkhauser.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Board Game Spotlight. I'm Lizzy.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Ruel.
And we're here to talk to you about all things board games. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. We hope you're as excited as we are, because this is going to be an awesome year of releases.
Yeah, I'm fired up. There's, every year I say it's going to be the best year ever. It's going to be the best year ever. I really, truly believe that. So much good stuff. Based on last year, too, I had a great 2022. I know you all did, too. You have a new expansion to your base game family here.
We did have an expansion.
We did. This is kind of why we haven't been doing as much media as we were, and why the podcast kind of took a little bit of a little break. But we're
maternity
back.
Leave.
Yeah.
And paternity leave, I guess. You got a break too.
But This guy, he's 4 months now. On Saturday. So
wow.
It's very
just
cool.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, congrats again. It's great to see y'all, and I'm glad that the baby is happy and healthy. And y'all, you're gonna be able to have 4-player game nights before you know it.
We will. Yeah, I mean that definitely was considered.
Was that really? Was it really?
4 players, or when Lizzy's like, "No, I'm out," it'd be like 3 players, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I got the boys. We're good. No, but I'm really excited. We have not done our 2022 top 10 yet, because next weekend we're actually getting together with some friends, and so we are going to have a chance to play a bunch of games from 2022 we didn't get to. Endless Winter, Heat. There were a couple other games.
There's a whole bunch. We have like a whole list of games we want to try and get through.
Tigris, South Tigris, the one from Shem.
Wayfarers.
Wayfarers. Thank you. So, there are a couple things that before we put out a top 10 list, we don't feel comfortable doing that yet, because we do know that there are some games that...
Oh, Joan of Arc. I haven't played that one.
Joan of Arc rolling, right? Yeah, yes, exactly.
I need to play that.
So after that weekend, I think it's going to be a good opportunity. Yeah. So probably by the end of the month, we'll have our top. We're going to each do a top 10.
Yeah. I think we'll probably just do like a video of that, though.
Right? Yeah. I think a video, we'll just chat about it and throw them up there. But it'll be fun. But last year, so 2022, though, it was the hardest year for me to come up with a top 10 so far. And that's without even playing some of these games that everybody's raving about. It reminded me of like 2016 or 2017, like with the games had come out, like there was just an absurd amount of really good games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
you're
agree.
famous for saying, "Oh, this is definitely game of the year."
No, and this is not just me.
I know, but you always proclaim like 30 games to be game of the year.
Listen, my top 10 has 50 games. Okay, it's fine. It works. There's subcategories.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I felt like the year started off strong, and it just kept going and going, and just like really solid games. And you mentioned Heat, Pedal to the Metal. I just played that, and it's definitely on my top 10 of the year. Oh, definitely. I knew it would. Good.
I knew it would.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan of Flamme Rouge. It's the same designer, and it's like the next iteration of that. Oh,
right.
I remember Flamme Rouge.
Yeah, it's excellent. But
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, there's so many great games again, and I'm trying to figure out my top 10 as well, and I've already like bumped some in, bumped some out, so it's going to be like that for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I was very excited. And, some things that came out in 2022 that weren't necessarily always new games, but there were some notable reprints of things that came out. One of those was that Castle Panic had a second edition that came out from Fireside Games. So if you have a family, or if you're looking for cooperative games, I highly recommend Castle Panic. We have my first Castle Panic for Sebastian.
Oh, he loves it.
He loves that game.
He's so good at it.
He loves it. And so the next step for him will be Castle Panic, as soon as I think he'll be able to kind of keep up with the strategy, sit for longer times, which he's learning in kindergarten right now. But so Castle Panic 2nd edition, definitely go take a look at that because that was a new print that came out in 2022.
Yeah, good stuff. Michelle and I got to play the prototype of that last year, and we had a lot of fun. And it was actually the original, the first edition. I had that. It was one of the first games I got into when I got into the hobby, which is great. And I ended up just gifting it to my niece and nephew because they loved it so much. So
it's a really good kind of gateway or entry level game for a lot of people for sure. Yeah, super fun.
On the Toppers, brought to you by Game Toppers LLC. Game Toppers are a portable gaming top that converts your existing table into a high-quality yet affordable gaming solution.
So looking forward to 2023, what are some of the games that you had a chance to play during holiday season, right? Because we had Christmas or, we had the holidays to include the new year. So what were some of the things that you were able to get to the table with maybe family and friends?
The big one for me was on Christmas Eve. My family, we always get together Christmas Eve. That's our tradition, right? It used to be like when I was a kid, we would stay up till midnight and open presents at midnight, sort of like New Year's Eve / Christmas. But now, we get to about 8 p.m. We're like, I'll just open the presents. It's fine. And then we save a few for the morning. But this, we always get together at one of my youngest brother's house and our families. And the game I've been dying to play, and we finally got to play it, was Don't Get Got. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Have y'all played that? Don't Get Got?
I've heard of it. Is that the one where you have secret objectives? You're trying to get your opponents to try to complete them?
Yes, and it's so much fun. So you can play with like various ages as long as they can read what their little mission is. And right off the bat, my nephew got me. It's like he had to his mission was to get someone to touch his shoulder or something like that. And he's like, "Hey, uncle, what's this?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "You got," and just silly stuff like that. There's so many things, and it lasted about an hour and a half. But it's a perfect game for like a convention or like a family gathering where you can do other stuff. It's almost like a meta game, right? You're doing other things.
Right.
Like we were eating dinner, and then we started playing another game. And while that was going on, we still had Don't Get Got going on. And it was like, it's so good. I highly recommend
like a secondary background type thing. That's actually really funny you mentioned that because we just played a game.
I know. I was just thinking
which is hilarious that we both kind of had similar experiences. There's a game coming out, a new reprint. I'm excited about it too, Ransom.
I know, Mommy won, didn't she?
Mom, she did win. There's a game called Marital Bliss, and it is so good. It takes that same mechanic of here are 5 missions you have to accomplish over the course of a week. And you try to get your partner or whoever it is you're trying to complete them with them without them guessing what you're doing. Yeah. And it is way harder than it sounds.
For Derek, maybe. I finished all of mine.
Nice. So is it just a 2-player game then? Is it just Marital Bliss?
Yeah, it would just be 2, like a couple or a partner or whoever it is you want to play with. So 2 players.
Ooh,
but it's coming out in a second edition for Valentine's Day. So we got an advanced review copy.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, it was way more fun than I was expecting it to be. Reading the rules, I'm like, okay, this looks kind of cute and cool. But then after I figured out my missions, I'm like, now I'm plotting. I'm like, how am I going to accomplish these? And they're not bad things. Some of them are like, they're really fun things. Yeah.
Like one of them was do a puzzle or a game with your spouse.
Complete a puzzle or a game,
if you completed it, you got bonus points. And I was like, hey, we have that Office puzzle that's been on the floor forever. And we were watching The Office. I was like, let's just put it together while we're watching it.
And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is really weird. But we've had this puzzle for a year, so we might as well put it together. We just started watching the Office Superfan episodes.
Oh my goodness, they're so good. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
It's on Peacock, and they've taken all of the deleted scenes and stuff and reworked the Office episodes so that they're longer. So they added in all the content that they cut out, and they're amazing. It's like rewatching the Office for the first time.
It is like rewatching it for the first time because there's a lot of stuff that you just never saw before.
A lot of the stuff that they cut out is the side characters. So a lot of Kevin and Meredith and Creed. There is so much of Creed that they've cut out.
They did,
but it's you can see hints of it in the later seasons, when they talk about in the last episode, Creed's been living there. They hint about that in season 3. It's insane how much of his character you don't get to see on screen.
Yeah,
that they gave him lines for, and It's just amazing. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
so funny.
He's
Love
like, I
it.
want to talk too.
He
I have things to say.
He's like, I'm a big Office fan. Let me at it.
Yeah. And so Marital Bliss has these objectives, right? And so one of them, mine was like, tell your spouse you love them, or partner. I can't remember the exact wordage. But tell them you love them. And then bonus points was saying it in another language. I was like, well, I don't speak other languages, so this is going to be really difficult. So I was not slick at all. Like, she was like, is that one of your objectives?
And said it in French, and I just looked at him and I was like, I'm calling it right now. That's one of your objectives, because if you call it,
if you call it, they lose that.
And I was like, French was the wrong language to choose.
I should have done Spanish.
You should have done Spanish. That would have been less suspicious.
Or Ukrainian would have worked too,
that
right?
Been cool.
That would have been cool.
That would have been. I would like, what is that? Russian, Ukrainian?
Russian,
So you just
could have done that. Yeah.
So now I'm excited. I really want to play this. This sounds really cool. It sounds like the two-player version of Don't Get Got. That sounds great.
Is. But it really, what I really think the game does, is that I appreciate about it, is it brings a really fun little kind of like spark to the relationship of like finding these really cute things to do with your partner. And then also, I don't know, I find it's really fun. I like it a lot.
We had a lot of fun. And then we're competing for like a prize.
Yeah, that's the best part. So there's a prize. So whoever accomplishes the most missions gets this prize. And we had picked the person that wins gets to sleep in. So they get to stay, you know, I have to get up with the kids or whatever. And there's a ton of really cool things. Like some of the missions were like, take your partner out for dinner, take him to a movie, do their day or something. Like there's some really cool mission prizes you can do.
Okay, I need to get this game.
I really do recommend it.
Yeah,
I do.
We would love
it's super fun.
That's great.
Yeah, so that was one of the things we did.
Yeah,
that's cool. Trying to think what. So I played a solo game that was outstanding. It was a game called Heading Forward from Hollandspiel Games. This is a very small company that they publish these sort of offbeat sort of games, and they're known for really just different types of themes and mechanisms. And this one, it's a solo game about, so it's called Heading Forward. It's by John Dubois, and it's about, you are a patient recovering from brain trauma. So you have had a major accident or whatever, and so you're sitting there in bed, and what you're trying to do, your insurance has given you a certain amount of days to go through rehab. So in rehab during this time, you're playing cards. You're trying to improve 3 different sets of skills through the use of hand management and resource management. It is
that sounds
one
really
of the
good.
most fascinating themes I've ever played. It is so unique and it's so well done.
That's
the game
very
maybe
unique.
takes 30 minutes. It's a solo game. So basically it's like multi-use cards. So you have cards that can be used for resources and you're trying to level them up basically. As you level them up, you're going to replace them with newer cards. But, and this is the interesting thing, when you don't use one of the cards, either for a resource or to play it in front of your hand on your tableau, that skill is going to atrophy. So it goes back down a level. And so the whole time you're trying to manage this, Derek, Lizzy,
I have to look for this.
Yeah, one of my favorite games of last year by far. It's a solo game, but
it's... I don't mind solo games. I mean, I play solo games more often now because of all the development I do for Hero Realms and Star Realms.
Yeah.
So I find myself doing more solo stuff. So I've gotten, like, for me, it's hard because I have a hard time sitting still and like doing something myself for that long. Because I'm like, if I'm sitting here playing a solo board game, why don't I just go play video games? Like, that's always been my mentality. But I'm enjoying solo games more as long as it really hooks me. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you have played quite a few solo games.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. That sounds good.
I'm a big solo gamer, and this one, the theme just grabbed me from the get-go. And the mechanisms, they're pretty straightforward, but just the way they do it, it's tied in so brilliantly, like theme-wise. You're trying to make sure your skills improve. You don't want them to atrophy. And then at some point of the game, there's a random one you pull at the start of the game. It's going to be your trigger. So if you pull that card, it triggers, these bad memories of your accident or whatever. So you have to do these extra things. I highly recommend it. That is
got it right here. Found it. Hollandspiel website.
Heading Forward. Nice.
Add to cart.
I love it. I love it. And the Hollandspiel's a really cool company. They're very small. They are in it to do these unique games. And yeah, I've got a few more of theirs that I'm going to be trying on the next couple of weeks.
Very cool. Well, no, you sold me on that one for sure.
Awesome.
Because like the other thing too with solo games is like we could play it together and just like make decisions or whatever.
Absolutely.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
done that before.
yeah, we've done that with Warp's Edge. We've done that with and a couple of things. So yeah, super
awesome.
fun.
Cool.
It's one of the games that we got a chance to
played
play.
Splendor Duel,
Yeah,
which was actually a gift from our Secret Santa.
Nice.
It was
Did we
our
talk
Secret
about this
Santa.
before?
I don't know.
I don't know if we did or not because we had
recently
I wanna hear your
just
thoughts.
played it.
Yeah.
I think we talked about wanting to play it on the last
hadn't
episode, and we got it
Okay.
as part of our Secret Santa. So thank you, Secret Santa. By the way,
Nice.
plug for the Board Game Spotlight. We do Secret Santa every holiday season. So every December we do a Secret Santa. If you're listening to this podcast, we would love for you to join. We use Elfster. It works really well. And we had, I think, about 70 people this year. So it was a little bit smaller than previous, but I mean, the pandemic has kind of changed some numbers and
We
stuff.
also weren't sure. We didn't do it until like
we
a
didn't
little bit later. Normally
promote it as well.
We do it earlier, but with the baby, things got.
You have a baby,
Yeah, but it was great. So anyways, this was one of our gifts. And I'll let Lizzy talk about it.
Oh, I thought it was a fantastic, it was kind of like a cross between like a boiled down version of Splendor and also like a kind of like sequel to Splendor. It was similar enough that I enjoyed it because we love Splendor. We started playing Splendor like right after we had Sebastian, actually. We played it so much. But I love the 2-player aspect. I love 2-player games. And the board, it's like a winding it's like in a square, but
spiral.
It's kind of like that winding spiral type where the jewels get all placed out there. And then as they get taken off the board, they don't get replenished unless you take a turn at the beginning to put them out. I just thought it was really clever. It was pretty different from Splendor. You could definitely have both, but if Splendor wasn't like a hit for you, I would definitely try it out. Like it was different enough that if you were like, oh, I didn't really like Splendor, you would be like, okay, but try this instead.
I definitely agree with that for sure. And exactly what Lizzy was talking about, the similarities, it really reminded me of playing Seven Wonders Duels versus Seven Wonders. There's that familiarity aspect with like symbols and icons and how things work. But the gameplay, oh my goodness, the gameplay was so much better than Splendor for me personally.
So the thing is, I know a lot of people love Seven Wonders Duel, and that's like the pinnacle of 2-player games. I don't like Seven Wonders Duel that much. I would much rather play.
You'd rather
Seven
play
Wonders
Seven Wonders
with like a whole group of people. Like that to me is like Seven Wonders is having a whole group of people and passing the cards, and even though you really only like interact with the people on the sides too, I love it. It's like a big game.
I like them both. I could take it. I could take both. But I did like Splendor Duel a lot more. And it's just a really smart implementation of like the way that you gather your gems is really cool because it kind of uses that puzzle gem system of like you take 3 in a line or diagonal or whatever. And they don't have to match or anything like that, but there are bonuses and stuff that you give your opponent if you happen to pick gems that match certain colors, or there's these pearls that are harder to find. So if you get pearls and your opponent gets something, and there's these 3 scrolls, and if you happen to have a scroll, you can cash the scroll in. It's not called a scroll, but it is a scroll.
Well,
privilege.
I think it's like a privilege or a favor. Yeah. You can cash that in for a bonus on your turn, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, Michelle and I loved it we're big Splendor fans as well, the base game. And
so you got a chance to play.
We loved it. It's one of my top 10 of last year for sure. It's up there. It's so smart. I love the fact that, like Lizzy was saying, I mean, it keeps the flavor of Splendor, but then all of a sudden you have like 3 different win conditions. You have the race to 20 points, but you could also have 10 in one color, or you can have 10 of the crowns. It's just so good. All the different win conditions.
Absolutely.
Yet it's still like, what, a 25, 30-minute game at most?
Yeah, it still goes really quickly.
Yeah.
No, look, the engine building is great because at the beginning I was like, man, this is going to take forever. How we're doing it. And then by the middle, or like I was like, okay, this is where I'm at. I need that. Like I can do this if Stuart, helps me out.
I really liked, again, some of the changes. Like obviously the 3 win conditions was a big perk to me because I was really bad in the original Splendor of like being the first to 16 points or something like that. I just wasn't very good at building that engine. But there was there were different ways for me to build the engine in Splinter Duel that I actually was more competitive with, right? And I really liked that some of the cards you gained, like you spend your jewels and you gain a card, they have secondary abilities that would trigger. And I'd liked that a lot too.
That was a great addition.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. There's something about, I swear, Bruno Cathala, you bring him into the mix and he just kills it with these 2-player editions. I want him to do 2-player games for all my favorite games. Come on, Bruno. Let's Twilight Imperium 2-player version. Come on, brother. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. Bruno does some amazing design work. Some of my favorite games are either co-designed by Bruno or, designed by him. So, I really liked it a lot.
I was right before we came on to record this. I was literally just playing King Domino, one of my favorites of his as well.
Man,
so
that game is
smart.
so good. It is instant classic.
That's another one that was like right when we had Sebastian. We were playing that a lot because it's easy to play it
with a baby.
Open-handed.
Open-handed. Yeah.
Just I want that one. Put it here. That's what we do with Splendor too. I need those 2 chips. Put them in front of me. Okay, I'm spending these to get that exact card. So if someone could be holding a baby or feeding them or entertaining them or whatever, and everyone else could play for them. There was no secret information. There was no I have to be able to hold this stuff.
Azul was very similar as well. Because you could have people. I think we played Azul with the baby. A little bit more fiddly, but you could play because there's again no hidden information. You just put things on your
Y'all
thing.
should do a top 10 list of top 10 games you could play with a baby.
I think we have actually.
Have you done that?
Talked about it in the past. I want to say it was a podcast episode. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did.
With another channel.
We should just do our own video.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to film ourselves playing with the baby to show that it's possible. Star Wars Rebellion with the baby.
I don't know which baby you're going to get for that because it's not going to be us.
I love it.
I'll take the baby and I'll play against AJ or somebody that comes over.
You're going to take the baby for Star Wars Rebellion?
Baby wear him during Star Wars Rebellion.
Have him for 3 hours.
Oh my goodness. That'd be hilarious though, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
Yeah,
that's
so the baby starts crying and you're like, wait, no, hang
on. Don't tell him I have Darth Vader. Rude, child.
And then Seth comes in crying because you play Boba Fett and he wanted Boba Fett.
Oh, that was so funny.
Did you hear about that?
I did. I remember that story.
That story is so funny. I love it. Oh, hey, look, we got Star Wars in the episode.
I was just going to say, hey, we made it this far. Not bad.
This is the point in the episode where our editor does some sort of Star Wars thing. We'll have to talk to him about it. This is where we get some Star Wars music here, Jeremiah. By the way, Jeremiah is our editor. He's awesome. He's been doing it for a few months for us now. So thank you, Jeremiah. You make us sound great. And take out all the bad stuff.
All the baby noises. Sorry.
So what else have you been playing?
So Michelle and I did this thing on the very first day of the new year. We were part of Tabletop Live Network. That's our monthly streaming event with the Brothers Murph and a bunch of other great creators. We started this year off with 2 games from our Shelf of Opportunity. We wanted to start off right, so we played Quirky Circuits, the second one. The one was it the Gizmo and Penny and Gizmo Snow Day, which is basically the same game but just streamlined down. They took out a few things, so it's just a very quick 20-minute version of the game, which we love. Programming game. But the one that we played off the shelf, and I was totally blown away, was Quarto. This is a
yes,
you love Quarto.
Right? I have it on my shelf. It's so good.
It's excellent. I was so blown away by it. It's an abstract game. It's basically almost like tic-tac-toe. You're just trying to get 4 things in a row, but the
just
twist.
4 things in a row.
Just 4 things in a row. It could be, so the pieces are either solid or hollow, light or dark, short or tall. But the
rounded
thing is,
or
I
square,
love this.
right?
Yeah, round or square.
There's like 4 or 5 different combinations.
Yeah, the best twist is you give your opponent the piece to place, right? You say, okay, Michelle, place this round one, and then it's like, okay, Ruel, place this, short one. Oh,
it's
so good. We played it. So we played that day 3 times, and we played it a few more times afterward. It's fantastic.
I never hear anybody talk about the game, but it's in my top 10 of abstract games. It is for so good. Oh, and it's so quick, but it's so thinky. You're like, how is this game burning my brain this hard? And it's just placing a piece of wood on a board.
Yeah. It's I knew it was a really brain burning game, a good one, because when Michelle and I were live streaming it, and we got to that point, I know everyone listening to this podcast does this. We got to that point, okay, my move does not count until I take my piece off my finger off the piece. My finger's still there, and you're trying to figure out everything. Then once you take it off, it's oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, it's so fantastic. I was so blown away. I was really, really surprised by that. Quarto, folks, go check that out.
Absolutely. And that's an older game too that I think Hachette, I think that's how you say their name. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but Hachette Board Games USA, they publish Gigamex stuff too. So, I mean, if you're looking at their catalog, so Quarto, man, there's a whole slew of games in that abstract catalog of theirs.
Yes.
There's a ton.
They all start with Q. It's like
there's very
Corridor or something like that. And then
Corridor's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Another awesome game from Gigamech that we play on BGA a lot with my friends is Marrakesh. And
yes.
I think I have a copy on the shelf behind me.
My copy's over here somewhere.
I mean, we have so many shelves.
Yeah, where is mine?
Yeah, it was on the shelf behind it. Marrakesh is one of the most unassuming cutthroat area control games you'll ever play. Yeah. It is like, we're just these carpet, salespeople, and we're trying to make the place these carpets down, and you're like, oh, this is it. I'm getting you. Like, it is so good.
I'm gonna make you pay.
It turns cute to deadly in like a minute. It's so quick.
Yeah. And what I love the most about it, it's the classic roll and move, right? You never hear people talk about roll and move, but that is a roll and move game. But it's so good.
But the reason why I like it a lot is because the placement of your carpet can, you're strategically trying to get this character to land on your carpets on your turn, because you don't want to land on an opponent's carpets. Because if you do, you have to pay them money equal to however large that area is. But the cool hook is on your turn, you can choose to turn the character left, right, or go forward. So you can never go backwards. And so, yes, it's roll and move, but you kind of get to choose
where you have to follow whenever it's following along the same path.
Man. It's so good. It's so fun.
It's not Candyland.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely not
Candyland.
Candyland.
I mean, who didn't love Candyland as a kid?
My sister would stack the deck to Candyland. I knew you were going to say that as soon as I brought it up. Every time. She'd be like, I got the game set up. I'm like, cool. And then I'm like, oh, game's over. 3 moves in. What's happening right now?
Oh my goodness. What is it? Queen Frostine or whatever?
Oh my goodness. I got the end of the board
already?
How did that happen?
Love it.
So funny. What else did we play? We played a game called Mind Bug from Richard Garfield.
Derek played himself mostly.
Okay.
So okay. Let me preface. I'm a Magic player, right? So I like to play competitive card games. And so this is designed by Richard Garfield. The cool hook here is that it's just I think it's like 50 card deck of cards. You shuffle them all together. You deal out 10 cards to each player. So you're playing from a shared deck of cards from everybody, but you've got your own centralized deck. And you're playing a card on your turn or attacking with a card, right? And there's these 2 mind bugs where you can spend it to take control of another player's creature. So it's like, oh, you happen to get this really powerful creature that's going to kill me. I'm going to take it from you. That way I don't die this turn. It's very quick, very, very fast. I liked it a lot because, again, I'm very Magic oriented. Lizzy, I don't think was as interested or was more lost. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's one of those things where you have to read all the cards and stuff. So I was reading it, and Derek looked at it, and he's like, "Oh, play that," and I'm like, "Okay, I play it." And he's like, "Oh, I lose a life." And then the next time, I had stolen one of his, and he's like, "Oh, if you do this, I lose a life, and I'm dead." And I'm like, "I choose to do that. Game over." And I was like, "You just killed yourself." It's not that I was not involved in the game.
Okay.
It's that he was so excited and "Oh man, if you do that, I'm dead." And I'm like. Okay,
well, there's this really cool combo she had, and I was like, I realized that light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, if you do this, I can't stop you, and you're gonna win. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that thing.
I'm like, you're talking out loud to help me. I don't know what you're doing. But
I don't know.
I'm not gonna ignore
I liked it a lot. It's got really great art. Very small box. I actually played it at PAX Unplugged in 2021.
It comes with a playmat too.
It comes with a playmat. Yeah,
it's
pretty
cool.
cool.
It fits in the box, which is always a plus.
Cool.
It makes the box a little bit bigger, but yes, it does fit in the box, which is always a plus. Played with Jazz Cruz.
Good guy.
Yeah. I love Jazz. So
great.
he taught it to me back when it was on Kickstarter. So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was super fun.
I
have to check that one. I had no idea about that game. I need to check that one out. I'm always
another 2-player game, right?
Yeah. Love it. Michelle and I, so along with getting stuff off our shelf of opportunity, we also decided, we're going to do this thing called Fresh Off the Shelf Fridays. So every Friday, we're going to try to play a game off our shelf. And this last week, we did Project L, which we've played plenty of, but we've never played the expansion. We finally got a copy of the expansion. Oh, my goodness.
This is one.
this is one of my all-time favorite. This is like a
I'm
top
buying this
5
game
tile
tonight.
laying games of
No.
all time.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
Did he hit his head?
No, he's rubbing his eyes.
I want that game so
I know.
bad.
Chill out, though. Just
Everybody that plays it talks about how amazing it is.
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't taken up. You know what it is? It's because it looks like an abstract. I mean, there's no like theme. It's like Tetris, you know. So, but the
we
gameplay,
love abstract games, but and it's tile placement, right? Or not tile placement, but like polyomino type, right?
Yeah, polyominoes, solving puzzles, but it's got a little bit of engine building, which is the best part of it. And then the finesse expansion adds like little goals, in-game goals, which are so good and makes the game like I was already thinking that like that game's like an 8 or a 9. It's like a 10 with that expansion. Man. Yeah, Michelle and I love it.
We're gonna get a chance to play that Tantrum Con.
I was just gonna say we'll play it at Tantrum Con.
She's like,
and
then she's like, if she likes it enough, then
I'm sure I will like it. But
no,
I'm really excited. I hope you like it. Yeah, I hope you all like it.
I think we will. Because we really like the games like
polyomino games.
Well, polyomino games, but puzzle games like that. What's the game from Ubuntu? Ubongo. Yeah, Ubongo. That's a great game. That one's good. I totally butchered that name, but you know what I was talking about.
The one with the monkeys, it's like 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Where like cubes. You can't see and one person can't hear, one person talks and you're trying to get them to finish the puzzle.
Yeah, and like you're trying to put it together.
Team 3. Yeah.
And then there was the one from...
There was a one from Plan B as well.
Tuki?
Yeah. Tuki was one. Yep.
Yeah. I loved that one. That one was amazing.
Tuki was real good. Favorite. That one was really hard because it was like 3-dimensional, right?
Yes.
So it was like...
And it had to look like it and there couldn't be anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that one was difficult. Okay.
That one was fun though.
I loved it.
Project L, highly recommend.
Yeah, it's been on the list of like wanting to play for a long time. I'm really excited. So next month we'll be going to Tantrum Con at the end of the month. It'll be Lizzy's birthday weekend. The whole family's going. Seb's going. They got like a kids program happening, and I'm sure he's going to want to hang out with us and play games and stuff too. So I'm really excited about it.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time to see a lot of people too. It reminds me of like a BGG Con, right? Where you just go to play games.
Yeah. For sure. That's exactly what it is.
So more play focused rather than
absolutely.
It's like 85% play.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they have all kinds of tournaments. They have lots of really fun.
Oh, yeah. They do lots of fun tournaments, like giveaways.
Like, when we were there last, they did like New York Slice Pizza Party. So like you played the game and you ate pizza.
Yep.
So
they're doing what they call tournameals. They call them tournameals.
Oh,
so like you play this game and you eat a food that, goes
That's
along with it.
That's a great idea.
It's very fun.
Really
if y'all ever get a chance to check out Tantrum Con, it's growing a lot, by the way.
Yeah, because when we first heard
it was like 500 people.
Well, the first time it was just like in Greenville, and then they moved it to like
Charlotte.
No, they moved it to somewhere in South Carolina first. I think it was like Spartanburg, and then they moved it to North Carolina, which is where it is now.
And they're like outgrowing the current location. Like they've already sold out of all their tickets, I think, for this year or something. Yeah. They sold a lot.
We need to get my brother and tickets.
I think we'll be good there.
They've done like the all access VIP.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
they have the 3-day. We should do that so that
we should go get their ticket because we're gonna get her brother and his wife to come hang out with us for a day there.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a great convention. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And we've got a long list of games to play there, and we're doing quite a few events. Yeah. We're doing some teach and plays.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow, that's gonna be a great time. I love it.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we'll have a chance to talk about. We'll do like a recap there when we get back in March to talk about it. So yeah, what else have you been playing?
The last one Michelle and I just played. We did a run through for Rado's channel. We played a game called Colorfield. This is a game from Mondo Davis by 25th Century Games. Is it going to Kickstarter? I forget if it was a Kickstarter game or
it's part of a 3-pack. It's like a Buego.
Oh yeah,
Donut Shop
and Donut Shop. Yeah,
Donut
exactly.
Shop.
It's a 3-pack.
Yeah, so Colorfield was great. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it's a tile laying game. You're just matching patterns, and it goes by in like 15, 20 minutes. It's really straightforward, but really clever. Michelle and I enjoyed the heck out of it. You start off with a blank canvas, and you put your base paints there, and then each turn you're swapping tiles in and out of your canvas. So it's changing. What you're trying to do is connect the similar colors to each other. And then you have, these, I think they're called community tools that change the rules of the game and give you extra scoring options. Plays over 3 rounds, 20 minutes. We're tile laying fans, so we enjoyed it a lot. So yeah. You were able to play it, right? Were you able to play
funny story with that game. I originally was scouting it with Skybound back in 2019. So Mondo had showed it to us, and I had taken a prototype back, and it was really good. I loved it. We just obviously ended up passing on the opportunity, but no, it's awesome. I was very impressed with it at that point. So I mean, obviously with time and development, I'm sure it's even better. So I'm excited to try that.
Yeah. I think I know y'all like tile laying games too.
We do.
This is in your wheelhouse. Yeah, Michelle,
I'm excited
really
about that Kickstarter because of Donut Shop as well. If you don't know anything about Donut Shop, it uses a mechanic that I've really enjoyed recently is the overlaying of tiles or like cards, right? Mm-hmm. So like you have to cover icons on a card to create
utilize space.
I love that. It's so much fun. Yeah. I really like that mechanic.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that you're covering? Is it other cards? So sort of what's the game? Sprawlopolis
cards. Yeah, kind of like Sprawlopolis. Yeah, Fall the Mountain King does that one too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dulce from Stronghold also does that. And that's like a chocolate type game. Dulce is pretty sweet. So there was it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for that one.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Trying to think, we haven't really played a whole lot of games outside of that. I mean, coming back from the holidays, it was kind of difficult.
We play a lot of Skull King with my family.
Yeah,
which is
Skull
just,
King.
It's a classic, but we have talked about it.
We've talked about that ad nauseum. So, we love Skull King.
Yeah, I feel like that one and I always like for families like cockroach poker. Like you ever play cockroach poker? That's a good one.
I just got a chance to play cockroach poker at PAX Unplugged. First time, and it was really fun.
Yeah, great family game.
It is. It'd be one.
I finally got to play a Boop. We talked about this at PAX. I finally got to play. It's so good, right?
Isn't it so cute?
Basically, it's basically an abstract game, but they laid this really cute theme on it, which makes it so much more accessible. And I can't stop playing it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it is 100% an abstract game with the strategy of it, but that theme is just really cute. I really enjoyed it, and that was one of my favorite games of last year. Mm-hmm. It was easily one of the better ones.
Definitely
for sure.
One. It's going to be on the list.
Yeah. So outside of that, we haven't been just kind of consuming media too, watching TV, watching movies around the holidays. Those are always fun.
We haven't got a chance. We finally got to watch Ted Lasso. We finally got it. Was mind-blowingly good. I was
just the first season, or how far did you go?
The whole thing. We
binged all of it. You binge all of it?
Yeah.
I watched it 5 times. I don't blame you.
I want to. Yeah, I want to rewatch it several times.
Every time you watch it, you notice something else, and there are so many little Easter eggs and
that's good to hear.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
When I think of a TV show, I just can't think of anything better. It's
so perfect. The characters are all amazing. The progression, the villain turn in season 2.
I know.
I was so upset. I felt like Tyra Banks. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I know we were
so good.
Shocking,
we were pretty upset that too. Yeah, I was like, no, don't do that.
Don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it because
spoilers.
It's done so beautifully and so subtly.
Yeah. Highly recommend. It's a top 3 TV show of all time for me.
Definitely a top 5 for me. I could see it being a top 3.
It's just every time I watch it, it just gets better and better, and it's awesome. Yeah, I really like it.
It's funny because I didn't expect something to be it's a feel good show, right? And that's not spoiling it, but it's so, I don't know, it's just so perfect. Everything they do is perfect in that show, and we loved it, and we couldn't get enough of it.
The banter is just top notch.
Yes.
There's depth to it, but there's also just super fun episodes. The Christmas one is just so beautiful. Yeah. It's so sweet. It doesn't add anything to the overall story, but I love just watching that episode on its own because it's just so heartwarming.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
There was one scene in particular that I don't know if it was the 3rd or 4th show, or I don't know how far it was, but I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't watched it, but it was like note for note. Yeah, we'll talk after we go offline here. But
I know what you're talking about. Note for note.
Yeah. No, okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I got to say. Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So brilliant.
It's so good. It's so good. I have been outside board games. We've been, so we've been gearing up for Hero Realms Dungeons, which is our next big Kickstarter at the end of this month in January.
Wise Wizard. Derek did not mention that.
Oh yeah, for Wise Wizard games.
I know what he's talking about, but everyone else
Hero Realms
not.
Dungeons is our next big box expansion, standalone expansion. It's going to be huge, massive amounts of stuff. Very cool. If you're a fan of Hero Realms, this is going to kick it up to 100, and it's going to go pretty awesome. And there's going to be new co-op campaign stuff as well. So if you're into that, there's going to be more cooperative in this game. But yeah, outside of that, so I'll just mention for those people who haven't seen me on social media, on Facebook, but Marvel Snap, if you've not had a chance to play this game, if you've not heard me talk about it,
you must have your head under a rock, because it's literally all Derek does. Derek plays video games while playing Marvel Snap.
That's great.
The games are so quick, and I don't have to really pay attention.
And playing Marvel Snap over here. He's cooking dinner. And playing
listen, my turn takes 5 seconds, and I'm just over here wrecking people.
There's nothing he will do without playing Marvel Snap alongside it.
True.
That's
it's
awesome.
So good though. And I know that it won't be for everybody, but I absolutely love everything the game does. The game was built for me.
It was
just literally built for me. I'm a huge Hearthstone fan, and Ben Brody did Hearthstone as well. I still really love Hearthstone, but Hearthstone, as I started getting older and having kids, it's hard to sit down and play a game for 15 minutes. Some of those matches go really long, and it's I don't always have 15, 20 minutes to sit down. But with Marvel Snap, literally some of the matches could go 90 seconds. So it is definitely
got an infinite amount of time to play.
It is definitely kind of a trigger for an ADHD person like me, where it definitely it hits my synapses perfectly, because it's just I don't know, whether good or bad, it's so good.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or bad for me, the game is really awesome.
To clarify what he was trying to say.
Can you interpret for me?
I will try, but I don't know. We've been struggling.
Yeah, I haven't taken the deep dive on it, but I have played a bunch of games. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't gone hardcore like Derek.
Well, and it's one of those things, the mechanics of it just are there's some things that are very reminiscent of board games, and there are some similarities between some board games, but there's just something about the computer that you will never be able to simulate at a table, as far as the randomness and all of the upkeep and the way that it just automates a lot of things. And it's just a very seamless experience. And it's Marvel too. I mean, it's so fun to see all these Marvel characters, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big hook, would be I'm very curious how it would have been if it wasn't such a big IP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. And I know people have talked about it before. I mean, to me, it reminds me a bit about Air, Land, and Sea, that game, the 2-player game. You got the different bases and stuff. And that theme really does, it's not as exciting as, say, Marvel, so
that's hard.
I think it's a solid game. It really is.
Pretty cool. And it won't be for everybody, but for the people that it is for, man, it's good.
Yeah, people love that game, man.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to think what else we've got happening. So at the end of January, we're doing the Lost Species with Renegade. So we'll be doing a Kickstarter for Lost Species with Renegade. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. We will be covering the game. So you'll be able to find that on the Board Game Spotlight Facebook and YouTube. If you're interested in that, Renegade does awesome stuff. I love Renegade games. And then we're also in February gearing up for a Microbot. So Micro Dojo was a game. We're doing Microbot, which is a 2-player Mint 10 game. Love Mint 10 games. Yeah, so we're excited to do that one too. And then just kind of rapid firing here. Another one that I just got a chance to cover was Zoo Tiles Fruits Basket. So it is a Crunchyroll anime that was rebooted in 2019. And it is a reskin of Zoo Tiles Jaime. Which was, it's about the I'm trying to think, the Chinese 12 count, like the calendar, Chinese.
Oh, the Zodiac?
The Zodiac, thank you. Like, it uses Zodiac animals in the game, and it's a tile placement game. But this is an anime, and it's coming out in Kickstarter, I think, like early February, middle of February. But if you're interested and you like anime, I'd definitely recommend that one.
Yeah, what's the year this year?
The Year of the Rat, isn't it? Or was that the one we were just in?
No, I feel like it's like...
Are we on the Year of the Rabbit?
I was going to say.
I forget.
Chinese New Year. That's the thing about having Google at the palm of your hands. It is the sign of the rabbit.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, I just got a calendar. There was a rabbit on it in front. So
Yeah.
figured that's why.
There you go.
We were both like goat/rams. I've seen it both ways.
Oh, in 91?
Yeah. Way to tell everyone how old we are.
What about you, Ruel? Anything you want to kind of rapid fire talk about towards the end of the show here?
Yeah. So as always, doing stuff with Rado on his channel, and I'm doing a few more run throughs on his channel lately. We do the R&R show at the end of the month. Every month we live stream, just talk about games. Tabletop Live Network. That's the organization me and the brothers Murph founded. We live stream an event at the end of every month. I think let's see, when we have one at the end of this month. Yeah, it's at the end of every month, folks. Anything specific I want to shout out? There's a couple of things in the works here I can't really expand upon, but really excited about things. One thing I am excited about, so I'm going to be doing a thing with Mark Streed from the Dice Tower.
Yeah.
Every once a month on Mondays, we're doing Maker Mondays, and we're just going to hang out and. Well, we call it Maker Mondays. We're going to put together Legos and talk about games and stuff. So that's once a month, every Monday on my Twitch channel.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of Legos for Christmas. I'm so excited to put together.
Nice.
He got office Legos.
I have the full office diorama. Yeah.
Oh,
and all the
that's
characters.
amazing.
Every single character.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Comes with chili.
He does. Yeah, it's so good. I got a Mandalorian helmet. I've got the Boba Fett starship,
and you did a couple Minecraft ones with
some Minecraft
already.
Ones we've done. Yeah, but we're big Lego fans here. So
when we that didn't have kids, we had the whole Star Wars table put together.
Many.
We had the Death Star, we had AT-AT, we had the Millennium Falcon, we had an X-wing,
we had a TIE
and
fighter.
we had them all put together, set up. We had them on display, and then when we were moving from California to South Carolina, I had to reverse build them and put them in bags, label them, and
you didn't have to do that. You did that, and it was incredible.
Were you going to be able to put them back together after that? I hadn't done that,
it would have been a lot harder. But she went back and labeled and put them in the. I was like, wow, I am blown away. Exactly.
I reverse built 8 Legos, including the Death Star.
Yeah, we're talking thousands of pieces of Lego.
That's insane.
Yeah, we're big fans of that. Sounds really fun.
We're excited.
We should kind of you know what, Ruel? Here's what I want to do. We need to come up with a really fun, and I know you're super busy, so I don't want to add anything else to your calendar. But with baseball season coming up, I really want to do something with baseball.
Yeah, definitely. Now we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about it before, dead ball. Doing something with dead ball.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just kind of getting around and just chatting about the baseball season, even if it's just a quick 10, 15 minutes or something. Because I mean, you're a Dodgers fan. You're excited about the Dodgers. I'm excited about the Cubs. We just love baseball in general. But yeah, even if it's, I think that there is even a baseball highlights app, but I don't know if you can play against opponents online.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll have to figure it out how we can do something. And it might just be a quick exhibition dead ball game, right?
You'll have to interview Philip Millman, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, dead ball is perfectly made for that, right? Because it's so quick. Yeah. You just need dice and that type of thing. So
I would, I'm, I don't care how much I got on my plate. We're definitely doing something baseball related.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I love it.
You know what? I think it'd be fun. We could play either dead ball or something. Talk about the upcoming season, but also let's get some packs. Let's open some packs on stream.
We could totally do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm down. I cool. Grab packs every once in a while or whatever, and that'd be super fun. Okay. Yeah, we should do once a month thing.
Before this devolves into you two just talking baseball for another hour.
Welcome to the Ruel and Derek podcast, where we're going to talk about baseball.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you had a happy holidays, and we can't wait to see you more for our monthly podcast now.
Yeah, we're going to try monthly. We really wanted to do the bi-monthly, and it was working there at the beginning, but now with the baby and our time being so precious, to be honest with you, with family, that we thought, you know what, I think we can commit to one a month. Mm-hmm. That way we can just feel a little bit better about that. And we don't feel stressed about, we gotta get in there, right? Mm-hmm. I want it to be an enjoyable experience. And I also think over the course of a month, we'll have more to talk about. Mm-hmm.
More games played, more events happening.
So, yeah.
Agreed.
And we can fit into our calendar better.
Well, I know. And it's not to say that we won't do special ones around conventions as well, but...
Yeah, we'll have some one-off stuff for sure.
So, thanks for joining us. I'm Lizzy.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Ruel.
And we will catch you next time.
Thanks for listening.
And that's it for this week's podcast. Thanks again to our amazing sponsors and our wonderful Patreon supporters. We'll see you next time on the Board Game Spotlight Podcast.